This is NFL football. It's one play here, one play there. You just never know which play it is, and it's easy to try to pick out some plays here and there, but it's all of us. We have to get better as a team, and look forward to getting back on the practice field, getting better.
Jerod, how much do you learn from this one? You had the blocked field goal, which certainly cost you some points, and then they came and got a field goal, and then at the end, the 47-yard run set you guys up nicely. Kind of a lot of little things. How much do you learn from a game like this?
That's a great question. That's part of my message. It's all about the details. If we get the little things right, the big things will take care of themselves, and we just didn't take care of the little things, and we weren't as detailed, I should say, on top of our P's and Q's like we should have been, which is my responsibility. And look, I take 100% responsibility, and look, these guys, I will say this, this is a tough football team, no matter what's said outside this building, and I told these guys that as well. Look, we're a tough football team, not only physically, but also mentally. I appreciate their effort. Just wasn't enough today.
Jerod, you've mentioned that this is clearly a tough football team, but in seeing today's game, the limited passing attack, only 3 completions to receivers, do you think at all today's game showed the limitations you guys have right now on offense?
I'm not sure. Each team is going to try to attack us different ways. Well, we definitely have to start to get the ball down the field. We got to start pushing the ball down the field to get that shell defense, to get that shell defense, and we got to be able to run. We got to be able to pass. We just got to be able to ping pong between the two. It's something that we need to work on. That's what I would say.
Jerod, on the 3rd and 1 there, Taekwon's in the backfield, unbalanced line. You talk about being a tough physical football team. Did you maybe get too cute there?
That's all on us. That's us. That's on us as coaches. I don't put anything on the player. Look, he was in there at times. He had to report. Then he played some tackle, and there was some confusion. But once again, there was no receiver outside of him. And so that's our fault, 100%.
But from a mentality standpoint, Jerod, just kind of like trying to drive the ball down people's throat, and in that case, felt like tried to do something, I don't know, fancy might be the wrong word, but.
No, I don't think we tried to do anything fancy. I think we tried to, run the plays that we felt pretty comfortable with going into the game, and then at halftime made some adjustments. And look, this isn't a fancy football team. This is one of those teams, whether we throw it or run it, that we just had to be a tough football team, but at the same time have to be smart. And we have to be able to go out there and line up and be mentally tough on a down-after-down basis.
Hey, Jerod, how much consideration did you guys have for going for it on 4th and 1 in overtime?
I would say there's some consideration. There's always consideration in those weird spots, especially when you get in the plus side of the field. I did what I thought was best.
And then with Okorafor leaving the team, did that surprise you at all? How would you describe your conversations with him?
I would say, I had a conversation with Chooks, and it had nothing to do with football. It had everything to do with just checking on him as a man. It was a good conversation. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Josh Brigadier.
Jerod, what worked very well for you guys in Cincinnati was not giving up the big play. And today, Metcalf had that catch in the first, and obviously the blocked field goal. Was that the difference in the game?
Those were 2 huge plays, and that's on us. At times, we want to be aggressive, and they called a good play, and they hit it down the sideline.
Jerod, your final 9 plays offensively, just 11 yards. What happened with the execution there late in the game?
Just wasn't good enough. The execution just wasn't good enough. I wish I had an excuse. We just had to be better.
Chris Gasper.
Hey, Jerod, Jacoby did a great job most of the day of avoiding sacks, getting away from the rush. Before that blocked field goal, though, he took a sack, and you guys lost 9 yards there. What did you see on that play, and was there any specific instruction, to him in the headset before, hey, whatever you do here, make sure you don't take a sack?
We always try to talk about situational football. I'll go back and watch the film and have a better answer for you going forward. What I will say is in the first half, he made some plays by extending drives with his legs, which is encouraging to see. We just need to be more of a balanced offense, which that'll be the goal this week.
Coach, you mentioned situational football. There were 2 end-of-half situations where you guys weren't able to capitalize. What, from your perspective, was the reason that you weren't able to score on those possessions?
Just lack of execution. That's what it comes down to. And I'm not trying to sound like a broken record. It just comes down to lack of execution. I felt like we were in shape, but as the game wore on, there were these little mental errors that ended up being big plays, and just got to do better.
Jerod, last time we spoke to you Friday, you said you wanted to see how Seattle would play you. They seemed to win the middle quarters, which would indicate some sort of adjustments. What adjustments, if any, did you see them make?
They were matching our big personnel with different groups. They were going base and they were going nickel and kind of just they were just matching the personnel up, and they did a good job making adjustments faster than we did.
Just curious, end of the first half, and you guys had the ball. You ended up running one, then taking some time off the clock, throwing a couple. Is there anything you would have done differently in that scenario to maybe try to prevent them from being able to drive the other way?
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, I'm going to go back and watch the game. There were a lot of plays in the game, and I don't want to give you bad information.
Jerod, I think just 4 targets for Demario Douglas in the first 2 games. What do you guys need to do to get him more involved on offense?
We have to get him going. Look, we have to scheme up some things for him. He's one of our most explosive players, and that's on us as coaches to put it together. Thanks.
Locker room's open. Raise your hand if you have questions for David. We'll pass the mic to you.
David, up here to your, what kind of things do you take from this? What do you learn from this one, even though it's a quick turnaround?
Yeah.
What kind of things do you learn as a team?
Look, we always talk, there's a few plays here or there that, and you don't know which ones they are, right? They might be mundane, they might be, critical situations, and so we'll have to go back and clean those up, right? Had our chances to win, proud of the way, all sides of the ball competed. You really just asked for a chance to win, and we had one, and kind of gave it up. So, that's the NFL, and now quick turnaround. So, kind of rinse this one out and get ready to go next week.
David, how has the offensive line been dealing with the changes that you've had, particularly at left tackle with Chooks and then Vidarian, and it looked like you guys went to Caden in around overtime?
Yeah, well, I mean, Lowe got hurt, so that's, what happened with Caden. So, there's things I thought we did well today. There's things we got to improve on. I thought Jacoby got hit too much. I haven't seen the film, obviously, but just, from turning around, seeing things, feeling things. So we got to do a better job. We got to, get some more production out of our pass game. And like I've always said, that's a team effort, from everybody. So it's not just one person, one position group. It takes a team, all 11 guys on offense, to do that. So, that's what we'll have to try to do this week. Yep.
David, the third down play in overtime, I think it was 3rd and 1.
Okay.
Taekwon in the backfield. You're obviously not seeing him, right? What did you see from that just up front, the way that unfolded, where you guys got stopped?
Is that the one we got the penalty too? Yeah. I don't know what the penalty, because Caden was in the game, so he didn't have. I think it was a receiver outside. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I don't know. We had a play and obviously just didn't get it done right, and we'll have to go back and look at it and see what we can correct. Like I said, there's multiple plays and moments throughout the game where you look at them and, man, I wish I had that one back, and you do that even after a win. But, it's more glaring after a loss, and, like I said, you never know when those crucial moments are, and that was one of them. They're obviously after a loss, they'll seem like there's a lot more of them. So we'll have to correct it and move forward. Yep.
David, 185 yards in the ground today. It seemed like for 3.5 quarters you were playing the game on your terms.
Yeah.
How much confidence do you have in the run game right now?
Yeah, I have a lot. I think we're a physical team. 2 really good backs. It was good to get AG going a little bit. But like I said, to be successful in this league, you need it. There's going to be games where you're going to do that and have success, but we just got to get more production in the pass game up front. All 4 position groups, I guess you could say. So, and we start doing that and putting it together. I think we'll see a lot of success. So, we'll correct it, move forward, and but running game, I thought we did some things physical there, good front. Our backs ran hard, and so we'll clean it up. There's obviously be things to clean up, but we take the good and keep moving forward.
Last question, Mike.
You guys got the quick turn for the Thursday game. From your experience in the league, what have you learned is the best way to sort of go about this to get yourself ready to go?
Yeah, they're tough. It's a quick turnaround, and in our world, today's Wednesday, and it's especially younger players, like, you're not going to get any live reps playing a division opponent at their stadium, and a different style of defense, So, you really got to rely on your preparation. You got to take the most out of the walkthroughs. And I think really the team that's ready to go with the most energy, things like that on a Thursday night are huge. Because, it's hard to, schematically scheme up a crazy amount of things because you're not going to be able to, walk through it, run it in practice, walk through it the next day, run it in practice, clean it up, So it's 3 days of walkthroughs really. And, that's what you got to try to do to have the most success. And you just got to rely on your preparation while also trying to get rest and, get ready to go. But it's a fun matchup Thursday night, only game on TV. So, it'll be an exciting matchup. Thanks, guys.
Jacoby Brissett is next.
Several times in this one. How tough a game was that on you physically and mentally? How much did you learn from this one? You guys had some tight situations, 3 and outs, blocked field goal, everything else happened. What do you take from this? What do you learn from it?
Yeah, it's at that point in the season where everything's a learning experience. Obviously, you put yourself in position, hopefully to make a couple more plays here and there throughout the game. I know we all gonna go back and watch this film, and it's gonna be a play here, a play there. Starting with myself, and so it's gonna be good for us to go back and watch this film and learn from it. The hits are, it's part of football, so I'm used to that.
Jacoby, over here.
This right.
Right here.
Oh.
It's been 2 games now without a lot of production to wide receivers. What do you think has been the issue there?
Yeah, I think obviously, we would like more in our passing game. I got to do a better job of getting a lot of those guys involved in the game plan and throughout the game. So I take responsibility for that.
Jacoby, the 3rd and 1 in overtime with you got stuffed, but it was also the penalty. Can you just sort of explain the call there as you understood it and what happened there?
Yeah, so they called us for a illegal man. He really didn't explain it to me. So when we go back, I'll have to.
It was uncovered, I think. There was no receiver on that side.
Gotcha. Yeah, so that's a penalty. So.
All the way to the right again, Jacoby. All the way. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, similar to Doug's question, just some of the play action plays today. It seemed like you guys wanted to push the ball down the field. It looked like they were playing a decent amount of 2 deep. Would you say that?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, whatever their tail was, they had a good tail on us when we were trying to push the ball down the field, and they did a good job. They had a good game plan as far as not letting us get behind them. We tried to, but got to find ways to get on top of that and continue to try to push the ball down the field and find different ways. But yeah, I thought they did a good job of playing too deep a lot of the times when we're trying to take our shots.
Hey, Jacoby. Career day for Hunter Henry. You hit him for over 100 yards. Just what is that chemistry like with him, and how have you guys been getting along the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's growing. Obviously he wasn't towards the tail end of training camp. He wasn't out there as much, but getting him back into the rhythm and the flow of the offense, and he's a really good player. And obviously, had a bunch of good plays today, and it's a lot of fun having him on my side of the ball, and I just look forward to progressing that relationship and chemistry and continue to make more plays.
Nico Melli to your left.
Jacoby, going back to Hunter, a lot of those plays seemed like they were pretty late breaking and improvising. How much of was your connection to him as you drew it up in the playbook, and how much of it was just going out there and making a play?
Damn, I don't really remember every play of the game right now that he made, but I would say it's probably split. Obviously he was in the area that he was. I probably scrambled a little bit. He moved a couple times, but for the most part, I think it was pretty spot on.
Jacoby, when Antonio broke that long run, there was about 6 minutes to go, and you go backwards 5 yards, miss a field goal. You only had 11 yards offensively the rest of the game. How much of a missed opportunity to feel like you couldn't close it out?
Yeah, man, I think you answered it there. It's tough, man. You know, you get that big play, and you get all the momentum, and then now you're going the opposite way. It's in those critical situations we got to find a way to. I think that was the moment in the game where it's like now we got to put them away. They gave us the light, and we didn't take it this time, and we just got to find a better way to to capitalize on those, especially when we get down there this late in the game versus a really good team. They don't give you that many opportunities, so you got to take advantage of those.
Jacoby, your 9th year in the league. This was the 2nd game as head coach for both Jerod and across the way for Mike McDonald. What did you think about the way the two of them coached today, back and forth, in terms of the end of that game?
Yeah, I thought it was a good game. Going into overtime, 2nd game of the season, back and forth on both sides of the ball, playing good football on both sides of the ball, and then special teams. I thought both of them did a good job. I mean, I don't know whether he was telling his team, but I thought Mayo did a good job. Getting us an opportunity, getting us a chance to be in a game, to go make the plays to win. And obviously we came up short, but it's a great learning experience. And we got a short week, so we got to put this one behind us fast and get ready to move forward. And that's kind of what he preaching in there to us right now. And it's just going to continue to get better.
Jacoby, can you tell me what you saw on the sack that you took right before the missed field goal? Around the 21, took the 9-yard sack.
Yeah, it was just a bad play by me. I was trying to get the ball out, and then I just didn't want to be careless with the ball and throw it in, and somebody strips at me from behind because I felt somebody come from behind. So I was trying to get the ball out, and then it was just a bad play by me.
Thank you, Jacoby. Keon White is next. Sorry, Dan Roach in the back.
Keon, what do you take from today? What did you think as far as this one was concerned? Back and forth game, and had your opportunities, but just couldn't come up with a victory.
So first and foremost, I know y'all just had Jacoby on. The offense did what they needed to do for us to win today. I feel like as a defense, we need to play better. Like me included, D-line, DBs, linebackers, everybody. So we need to go to the drawing board, watch the film, and see how we can improve. It's a short week, and that's what it's all about, making the corrections.
Guys, raise your hand if you have questions. Thank you. Nick O'Malley.
Keon, you mentioned defense needs to make corrections. What corrections do you think coming off the field that you have to make with only 3 days to get ready?
I have no idea. I just got off the field, so I haven't had a chance to watch the film. I'm confident in our coaches. I'm confident in DeMarcus to make the corrections and get us to where we need to be, and that's for him to decide.
How much did Geno Smith's use of cadence and maybe the no huddle affect your guys' ability to disguise and maybe get to some of your pressure looks?
They play fast. Again, as far as how we played as a defense, I just know we didn't play well enough. I don't know what we did. I don't know what we need to do better. Again, I have to watch the film. I have to hear the corrections from DeMarcus and Jerry, and then I'll be able to decide.
Guys, any other questions? We'll go back to Dan Roach.
Yeah, you got him 1.5 times and think a tackle for a loss, a couple hits. What makes Geno though difficult to face? He made some plays when he needed to.
Geno's a vet. He's been in this game a very long time. One thing I've learned in my short time being in this game, it's not always about who's the most athletic, who's the best athlete, who's the fastest. It's a lot of times about how smart you are, and he's gained a lot of experience with all the reps he's taken over the years.
I noticed a couple times you and Joshua Uche were dropping back pretty far in some cover 2 zones. Can you give us a little context to what the idea was behind that? I saw like maybe you were blitzing some defensive backs instead.
Yeah, just showing different looks to how to confuse Geno. And yeah, that's what it was.